We got this news, we got the details earlier this week about the Disney bundle, the pricing for it, the fact that the Hulu component of it is going to be ad-supported. It struck something of a debate about how much demand is actually going to be out there from OTT customers to take on some of these ad-supported networks versus paying for subscriptions. We look at your earnings, though, and it would seem there's quite a bit of demand out there. How are you thinking about that landscape? Ad-supported versus subscription, and what it means for Roku?
Yeah, well, I think it's great that there's so much new content coming to streaming. Roku was founded on the belief that all TV would be streamed, and we're really starting to see that. Roku is an essential partner for these streaming companies. We've built a platform that they can use to distribute their content to millions of customers. We've built very sophisticated tools to help them engage customers, build subscriber bases, and retain customers. So, I think it's great, and this is kind of what we expected in the early, and it's still the early days of streaming. I mean, we've just passed 30 million active accounts, a great new milestone for us, but there's 1 billion TVs worldwide, and so streaming is just really starting.
Yeah, just to put that one in perspective, the fact that we do have quite a number of services poised to launch both before the end of this year and into next, how much of a tailwind would that be for Roku?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that are driving Roku's growth. The switch to streaming, the rise of smart TVs, all the new content that's coming on board, the better value that it offers customers, the choice it offers customers. So, I think new streaming services from Disney, Apple, and others are an important part of the growth of streaming, but what you would expect as the TV industry transitions away from linear TV and into streaming.
Anthony, what has to happen for you to continue to succeed in this world if, in fact, this feature or this functionality does get embedded in TVs in general? I mean, what place do you have way down the road as we evolve toward that?
Yeah, well, we're one of the leaders in that transition. We license our streaming platform to TV companies. In fact, more than 1 in 3 smart TVs sold in the United States are powered by the Roku software stack, our operating system. So that's the future we believe strongly in, that all TVs will eventually ship with a streaming operating system built in, and we're the #1 streaming operating system. And that lead is growing. There's a great chart in our shareholder letter showing from Strategy Analytics that shows how we're #1 in the U.S. and how that lead is actually widening, and smart TVs are a big part of that.
Yeah, well, Anthony, you were asked this on the call, and you didn't really answer the question, which is a lot of those TVs are made by the likes of TCL, for example, in China. They're manufactured in China. September 1st, we're going to get a 10% tariff on those. Are you concerned at all about how that is going to potentially impact your business?
Tariffs, it's hard to predict what's going to happen exactly with tariffs. There's a lot of variables still in play. We and our partners are taking steps to mitigate the short-term impact of tariffs, including, relocating manufacturing. But for us, the big picture, and TVs, our TV partners build, not just in China, they build around the world. So, but for us, the big picture really is that anything that happens with short-term tariffs doesn't impact the long-term potential of our business, which is huge as the world, shifts to streaming.
Right. You almost word for word said the exact same thing on the conference call. I mean, is there anything more you can give us in terms of you really don't believe this is going to have an impact at all in your business, or you're just saying it's going to have a short-term impact?
It's very complicated. There's a lot of variables. It is hard to predict if there will be a short-term impact. It could affect our future results in some way, but in the long term, and even in the midterm, I don't think it doesn't impact the size of the opportunity, right. The fact that our strategy is working, and people are going to watch TV, no matter what happens with.
No, they are, and nobody questions your strategy. It's worked extraordinarily well, given we can see it reflected in your stock price. But what about coming competition from the likes of Google and Amazon with their voice-controlled TV systems also being included on the original manufacturing of the TV? Is that a threat to you?
We have a interesting relationship with companies like Amazon. I mean, they're a great partner for ours. We carry Amazon Prime Video on our platform. It's a popular app. We're a big distributor for them. We sell lots of products on Amazon.com, but we do compete with them for things like in areas like Fire TV. We've been competing with these large companies for years, for our entire existence. We've been very successful. We've built the only purpose-built operating system for TV. These other companies are porting their mobile operating systems, and you can see that in our results. And you can see that in the market share chart, for example, the one we included in our shareholder letter, which shows that we're way ahead of our nearest competitor, and that lead actually is growing.
Anthony, whether it's through the Roku channel or whether it's through these premium subscriptions and the fact that you aggregate all of this content and all of these services for users that come through Roku, what is the most popular thing or the most popular service?
The most popular service is Netflix. I mean, Netflix is still by far the leader, but there's lots of other services that are also very popular and that consumers love. And free content actually is probably the fastest growing area. I mean, there's a lot of discussion about all these new subscription services, and I'm sure that they'll be successful. But actually, the most popular, fastest growing category is free ad-supported content, which is, and the Roku channel is very popular in that area.